Moms who know do less so they can focus on what matters most, taking care of themselves, their families, and living their God-given purpose. Moms who know focus on the little things they can do that grow to have a huge impact. You are connecting with your family, your true self, and your God-given purpose. You are a mom who knows. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining me today on the Moms Who Know podcast. I'm excited that you're here. We are going to talk today about something that has really been helpful in my life, and it's called a life vision. I learned about this from a coach that I worked with, and she had us put this together, and it's been really helpful for me. And as I've gone along since I've learned this tool, the way that I've used it has kind of shifted. And so I'll share that with you today. I want to share with you kind of what this is, what it does for me, and then how to put it together so that you guys can actually use this tool in your life. So first, let's talk about what this idea even is. What is a life vision? So a life vision is something that you're going to put on paper. You're going to write it down. And the purpose of it is to give you greater clarity, to kind of give you a vision, a strong vision of your potential so that you can see what things you want to accomplish, what things you're going to do, just kind of where you're going. It helps you to see the big picture of your life and to really get an idea of what you want. So some of the questions that you might ask as you go to work on this life vision are like, what do I want in my life? What actually makes me happy and what actually matters to me? So this life vision is a chance to dream and to hope and to get it all out on paper. It's really important when you're doing this process not to edit. I think that a lot of times we have things we want to do. We have this dream or something we're excited about. And we think, oh, that would be so awesome if I could move to the beach, maybe, or if I could write a book, say something like that. And then we say, oh, but I could never afford to move to the beach. Oh, but I don't have a publisher. How am I ever going to write a book? We just start in with the things that might get in the way, and we worry too much about how we're going to accomplish these things. So instead, I just want you to, when you're writing down your ideas, and we'll talk more about the process, but I want you not to edit. And that's really important. Some of these things are, really big and scary. I've quoted this before, but one of my favorite quotes comes from Marianne Williamson, and she says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world." I think that it's important to keep that in mind when you're working on this life vision. Who are you not to be these things? If you have this desire in you to do big things, then do it. Don't hold back. Write it down. Get it out there on paper. Get it out there into the world and let yourself really feel what that is like. So that is my first thought for you on a life vision, is to let yourself feel what you really want. When I first did this exercise, it was kind of hard for me, that very first step of feeling what I wanted, because I think that in life, a lot of times I do edit myself. I say, oh, I want that, but, and then I hold back, and then I don't always go for those things because I'm afraid. And so when we can let go of that fear, this is kind of a first step in letting go of that fear. It's not even taking action towards doing those things. It's letting ourselves dream of those things without fear, without holding back. So I think that's really powerful, because when we let ourselves dream about it and we let ourselves actually think and we recognize and we admit to ourselves what we want, then things can kind of fall into place and start to happen. But not until then, I feel like, because if we're not even admitting to ourselves that we want certain things, then we keep ourselves from getting them. So Your life vision starts with a vision of what you want to change in your life and what is currently working. So, I'm going to go ahead and share my life vision, and then I'll talk a little bit more about how to create yours because yours might not look exactly like mine. But here is my life vision. I have a healthy relationship with money. It is used to better our lives and the lives of others. We keep the future in mind and work to pay off the house and make wise investments. My home is a place of peace, refuge, and safety. The spirit is here, and all who come here can feel it. This is supported by the clean and comfortable environment. I choose to be an influencer. I speak on podcasts, stages, retreats, workshops, firesides, church activities, events, and share what's in my heart. I teach people to make changes in their lives so they can see real growth. I use my writing to help and serve. I choose to continue to grow and see where God leads me. I ask the right questions. It's not about me, it's about serving others, and I recognize that I am given influence as a way to serve. I choose to explore the world both near and far. I choose to have adventures, eat new foods, and meet new people. I choose to be in nature every day. I choose to stay close to my Heavenly Father and my Savior. I want their constant love and guidance. I choose to continue to grow every day, to learn, to implement, to progress, and get better. I choose to live life to the fullest. I choose to help people. People will be truly impacted because of the changes they make in their lives. I choose to serve in big and small ways. I choose to know people in my community by name and let them know they matter to me. I choose to serve in the church wholeheartedly. I choose to be grateful every day for this body Heavenly Father has given me. I choose to honor it by treating it well, nourishing myself with good food, movement, and acceptance. I honor my body by not comparing it to others and choosing to be grateful for its incomparable worth. Family, God, self. Everything I do and commit to is done in the context of these relationships. I serve, spend time with, and connect with my family every day. I cherish my marriage to Jim and strengthen it every day. That is the end of my life vision. And for those of you who know me in real life and know my husband, he doesn't go by Jim, but I call him Jim. Now the cat's out of the bag. No one else really calls him that except for random old men who maybe don't know his name, but he goes by James most of the time. So if you know him, that's his name. Anyway, that is my life vision. And I got a little choked up as I was reading it because it is very meaningful to me. The things that I've written down are the things that I really want at the deepest level. And sometimes I get caught up in other things and I forget the things that I really want. And it can be easy to lose sight of our vision. And so the way that I use this, I'm actually going to share that first before we get into the how. I want to be reminded of this vision of my life and what I want my life to be. I want that at the forefront of my mind when I'm going through my day. And I want really to live it every day. And so what I do is I actually I audio recorded it and I use it as a meditation. So I do meditation these days in the morning, and then I have a transition right at the end of work before the kids come home from school. And I use it then too. Now, that doesn't mean I'm using it twice a day because I'm kind of trading off. Sometimes I'll do guided meditation or I'll do like a little movement activity after work. But generally, on average, it's about once a day at one of those times or both of those times. So kind of depends day to day, but I have that space allotted for it. And I recorded it as an audio on my phone. It's like 2.5 minutes in that recording. And I listen to it and I just breathe and I listen like you would with a guided meditation. But what's powerful about it is it's me in my own voice telling the way that I want my life to go. And because I hear it so often, it reminds me and it guides and it influences my daily choices. And it helps me to recognize that the little things that I do every day are linked, are part of it. I can't make choices without them having an impact. So, how am I really going to nourish my body? How am I really going to connect with my family? Am I doing it every day? And sometimes phrases will come to my mind from my life vision, reminding me who I want to be and what I want to do. And it's really powerful when you hear your own self, your best self, right? Because this life vision is the best version of me, who I actually want to be, not who I sometimes default to. And I hear that in my mind saying, hey, what about this? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I want. That is who I want to be. So I love having this, and I want this for you guys. I want you to know about this tool and be able to use this tool. Another way that you can use it is if you're not, if you don't want to record it on audio and listen to it, it would also be powerful to have it written and to read it to yourself at regular intervals. Or if you're a writer, to write it down, like write sections down. That might seem weird, but copy it because it allows you to focus on each word and to think about it. So what goes into a life vision? Let's talk about that. When I first put this life vision together, one of the things that I got really hung up on is how to word it, because I knew that I wanted it to, be motivating for me, but I felt like it would be a lie if I said, for example, one part says, I choose to explore the world. If it said, I explore the world, that to me, because when I originally wrote this, I have been to Taiwan as a missionary, and I'd been to Mexico. So I've been a couple places. Since I've written it, I've been to even more places, but it just didn't seem authentic when I wrote, I explore the world and I do these things. And so the wording that I particularly like is I choose this. I choose to explore the world. And that is really helpful for me. You can just write it as if it is your present reality. One sentence that I'm looking at says, I have a healthy relationship with money, which I do, but maybe when I wrote it, it wasn't quite as healthy when I first started my life vision. And so you're going to evolve and come more into alignment with your life vision as it goes on. So some things to think about. And when you're writing your life vision, these come from the book Vivid Vision, and it's really kind of a business book. It's written for CEOs, and it's talking about creating a vision for your company and what you want it to look like. And he has an interesting method, which I'll go ahead and share. You can take it or leave it to add to your life vision. But what he recommends is looking out 3 years in the future. And he says that sometimes when we're trying to we're trying to get going with our vision, we're thinking like, what do I want in that case, company? What do I want in my whole company? What do I want to do 20 years from now? And I think this is really applicable to us as moms. We think, okay, what do I want my life to look like in 20 years? And it's so hard to know, like, will I have more kids by then? Where will the kids be? What's my life going to be like? And it's a little hard to wrap our minds around. And so one thing that he recommends is to go 3 years out. 3 years out is just far enough away that anything that you put into your vision seems doable. Like you can pretty much change anything you want to change in 3 years, right? But it's also close enough that you can have a pretty clear vision. And I think especially as a mom, okay, where will my kids be in 3 years? You have a pretty good idea of the 3-year time frame. So that's one way to do this, if that helps. If that helps take some of the scariness out of it and helps to bring it to a level that you can actually wrap your mind around. So he also recommends 5 different categories, and I have different, I'll share both. So what he recommends, they all start with F to help you remember. There's fitness, faith, finance, family, and friends. And I'll go through these each briefly. So fitness, he's just using an F there to remind us to take care of our body. So what does your health and your wellness and your nutrition and everything to do with your physical body, what is that going to look like? What is your vision for your physical self in your life? The next one is faith. So for some of us, that means religion. That means our prayer life. That means scriptures. For some of us, maybe not so much, but we still want to be in touch with some aspect of spirituality, of faith in something. I hope, even if you aren't a religious person, that you do have faith in something and that you work to cultivate that, because it's really important to connect with divine. The next one is finance. What do you want your money to be like in the future? What kind of relationship do you want to have with your finances? What do you want to do to change your finances and make what you want a reality? And the last one is friends. So beyond friends, I would say this one just deals with all your relationships. Yes, your friend relationships, but also your kids, also your spouse. It's taking into account all of your relationships in life. So those are some categories that he gives. Allie White, who is a coach that I've worked with in the past, she has different categories, and I'll go through these briefly, but I will also post these on the website, which is momswhoknowpodcast.com. You can go there and get all of these written out to help you write your life vision. So her categories are financial, home, car, ideal job or career, free time or playtime, self, including spirituality, contributions, community, body and physical health, and relationships. So it's interesting. There's some overlap there. There's some things that are the same, some things that are different. And so really your life vision is going to be taking what matters to you and putting that on paper. So to finish up here, I just want to share what this does for me. Having a life vision reminds me every day what I need to focus on, and it keeps me from getting distracted. It is a powerful tool, you guys. It's something I can come back to again and again. And I've had it for a while, and sometimes I've taken a little break from it, but I feel like my life is more on track. It's more deliberate. It's more intentional when I have a piece of paper or an audio, just something written out, spelled out for me of, oh yeah, this is what I want. And so that is my life vision. I hope this has been helpful for you. And I hope you guys will put this together. If when you're putting it together, if you have questions or you're not sure how something fits, let me know over on Facebook or Instagram. And as always, let me know what one little thing stood out to you today. I hope that this life vision is for you, but if not, we can learn from so many different things, right? Maybe one little nugget stood out to you today. Let me know what that was. What one little thing are you going to think about differently or do differently because of this episode today? Let me know on Facebook or Instagram at Moms Who Know Podcast, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.